Depression is a phenomenon that's misunderstood. We tend to think of it as this intense sadness, but really it's the lack of feeling anything at all. And whenever we hear someone's depressed, we try to think of a root cause for it. Some life-altering traumatic event. But in reality, it's emptiness. That's because depression is a very subtle thing. We say cliches like suffering in silence, but we still don't fully understand what that even means. And that's because it means different things to different people. For some, it's trying to move forward even though your best days are behind you. For some, it's trying to accept that the person you love the most is no longer with you. And for some, it's trying to find peace even though life didn't work out the way you wanted it to. Basically, watching others progress while you feel stuck is something that's very painful, even though most can't really see that pain. And I say this because I think a lot of people are trying to gatekeep feelings. You're hungry? Well, there's children starving. Okay, but I still need to eat lunch. We live in an unhealthy cycle of people expecting to have a reason for their sadness. And just having a reason isn't enough. It needs to be a good reason. So not only do we have people that feel bad, they also feel bad about feeling bad. We were all born into a world we didn't choose to be in, told to understand a world that doesn't make sense, and forced to contribute to a society we didn't create. It's okay to feel a little bit down sometimes. Most of us don't have that tragic anime backstory, but that doesn't mean there isn't a tragedy to the human experience we see every day. Last year I went past the diner I used to go to with all my friends during high school, just to discover it was vacant. And I'm not gonna lie, that shit bummed me out. You can write me off as just being a sentimental pussy, because I kinda am, but at the same time, you gotta admit, there's something pretty depressing about the world you used to know changing around you. Not to mention the building where I went to high school at is also vacant. Now I know this is a very first world problem, but something about these places being empty just makes me feel like those memories and those bonds I had never even existed in the first place, and that's a weird feeling to have. And I don't think I'm alone in this regard. You see, the job I worked at last summer, it was mostly middle-aged people. And they were nice to me, don't get me wrong, but every time I talked to them, I picked up on this underlying depressed vibe. Even though I recognized it, I didn't really understand where it was coming from. But now I think I'm starting to understand. See, for me, it was just a summer job, just some shit to earn cash on the side. But for them, that's it. That's their only option. They can only do this for the rest of their life. And knowing that you can only do one thing for the rest of your life is kind of terrible. What I'm getting at here is you don't have to witness a massacre or something tragic to feel a little bit fucked up. Because there's a tragedy in the mundane everyday life. I know I usually end these videos with tips on how to get over these feelings, but the truth is, I don't really know, because I'm still dealing with this myself. And I just wouldn't feel right giving you that Disney, everything's perfect, rainbows and sunshine, you just gotta work hard and believe, because that might not be the case. The truth is, life is unfair and it has no rhyme or reason. You can make 1,000 shadow clones of yourself to please every important person in your life, and you still could fall flat on your face because life is really weird and makes no sense. But I will say this, you might not get that dream life you envisioned as a kid, but your purpose should be progression, not perfection. You might not have that Disney life story, but you should try to be better tomorrow than you were today. That's all we can ask for. And we got nothing to lose, so we might as well try.